Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. My name is Hank. With me is Benzgate 3.
You fucking cheap bastard. What a fucking cop-out. This is the second time we're doing this this shit. And the first time, someone took I forget what you even said. You picked the weakest fucking...
I said final bend line.
Final bend line, yeah.
Theater rhythm, final bar line.
Possibly the weakest thing you could have chosen. And then you immediately realize your mistake, and now you're a coward. But I've exposed you. I pulled back the curtain.
Constant car honking outside. God.
They're so pumped that we're here. We got 4 minutes in last time, and my internet was being weird. It might happen this time. Who knows?
If it does, you probably won't hear this.
Yeah.
So if you're hearing this, that means we made it. We succeeded.
Don't make me think of... You're hurting my brain. Quantum listener. Yeah, we're talking 2023 in video games.
Yeah.
Because we both played video games from the last year.
What?
Yeah, I mean, we'll retrace our steps, though it's the first time for everybody else, theoretically. Do you have a game of the year?
Do I have a game of the year?
Yeah, one that stood out, you played a lot of.
Probably Magic the Gathering Arena.
That doesn't count. That's a live service offering, and not really a...
It came out on Steam this year.
Oh, fuck's sake. Get the hell out of here. I actually forgot that hit Steam in 2023.
It came out in the middle of the year.
Fuck ever.
And my Steam time is already at 200 something hours. 260?
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's my third most played game on Steam already, and it's pretty close on becoming number 2.
Hell yeah.
Because we don't play Tabletop Simulator enough.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's pretty far away from Dota. It's going to take some time to catch up to Dota 2, but,
Yeah,
one day.
My top plate is still Isaac at 1,200 hours, so, we're along. Everything else is a far cry from that.
See.
But, okay. I actually, you know what? You said Magic the last time we tried recording this. And I thought that was just about, we didn't get far enough for you to mention that the Steam version came out last year. So I actually didn't even, I thought you were just doing the bit of I've been playing this a lot.
Wait.
That's funny. Wait, what?
According to so I think I have more hours on Arena on Steam than I do since Epic started tracking the hours.
That's
Apparently.
pretty funny.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I'm misreading that. That's 2,000 hours, not 200.
Oh shit. God damn.
On Epic I have 2,107 hours.
That's
of
fucking
that game.
wild.
Dude, I play a lot of fucking Magic.
I mean, yeah. Nerd.
That game's been out for years.
Nerd.
Although, again, that isn't all my playtime on Arena, because first it was a standalone app, and then...
Yeah.
It might have been tracking... Epic might have been tracking it since the first, but I definitely played a lot of it before it even came to...
Yeah, no, it was...
If playtime.
If someone told me your count was closer to 4,000, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that sounds...
Because you had how long before Epic, and then Epic, and then
yeah,
Steam,
and I was going...
Yeah, you went
hard.
You slammed that shit, so...
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whatever. Yeah. I've not, I don't...
But my game of the year is Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
Actually.
I mean, sheeple and all that. Fucking bandwagon rider. Probably barely even played it.
I was so looking forward to that game, too. I was all in.
Dude, I wanted to play that game, but the performance never, I didn't want to deal with it. On Steam Deck.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, you made the right choice because Act 3 runs even worse on Steam Deck.
I think they did some shit that improves it, but like by
Yes,
improves
they
people
definitely improved
people are
the performance.
I get that it's not like a racing game or like a fighting game or anything, but the fact that people are like, yo, this runs super solidly. I get like a lock 30 frames mostly. I'm like, 30 frames mostly is not me purchasing this game at full price. I'm not here for that. But I mean, that would be my game that like, if there was a category for like thing I wanted to play the baddest and just didn't or couldn't, kind of couldn't, honestly. That's certainly in that position because that's like that
Sure.
that shit is it catches me.
Yeah, it's kind of. I still want to play more of it. I want to do like another playthrough.
Yeah, dude.
I would love to play multiplayer
Someday we might be able to play multiplayer. We'll get like
someday.
20 hours into it and then never touch it again or whatever. It'll be great.
Yeah, just like my Divinity Original Sin 2 experience.
I mean that was like doomed from the start though, in my opinion.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, anyway. My game of the year was
But look, I've loved Larian since I played Divinity Dragon Commander, which is an RTS where also you can just take control of like a third-person shooter dragon.
Oh
just
hell yeah.
shoot the enemies.
Oh,
And then it
that's
has
sick.
like a board game like
What?
card game part, and then like you have like this whole other like talking to people and making choices part of the game. That game's crazy. There's so
That sounds
like Larian's
wild.
great.
Yeah, dude.
I love that game. It's like it's kind of hard. It's hard to recommend because it feels kind of unfinished. Like it feels like it really needed like a classic expansion pack to like make it make sense.
Sure.
But like for your first play, particularly to like make it a thing you can play again, but like for your first playthrough, because it has like a story to it that makes it like kind of weird to try and go through again, I think.
Yeah.
There's like a whole plot point of you choosing your wife.
God.
And
I
then
mean-
like the wives have different paths.
Oh hell yeah.
Like the one I remember is I don't think I even did, but like there's one of them is your undead wife for the undead faction.
I mean less interesting.
And there's a path you can go down where you have the goblins put her in like a giant golden body. Put her brain or something. It's just like
That's insane.
and there's like an evil demon you can like sacrifice your wife to.
Boo.
And
Boo.
then maybe get a new wife.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm in. That's fine. Oh, that sounds
And like
ridiculous.
the writing's really good.
Nice.
It's fun.
Hell yeah, dude.
The RTS is mindless in that it's like build up your army and fucking send them,
I mean, yeah.
and then
that's
turn into
like-
a dragon and shoot people.
That's
But
like-
like that's fun.
Yeah, no.
Turn
that's-
into a dragon.
That's about as far as my RTS would take me. Like,
Yeah.
if an RTS is focused on one thing, I can do it. Add anything else, I'm fucked.
Fair. That's like where my Larian love really comes from. Is
Yeah.
that game. That was a complete like that was the first game of theirs that was like promoted, and I don't think it did very well.
Sure. I mean, if it's pulling
Was it-
that much stuff, that makes sense.
Yeah, it wasn't till Divinity Original Sin, the first one, that they kind of had a hit, I feel like, beyond like, continuing to be able to make games. So I assume their stuff sold okay at what enough.
Yeah. Got the job done.
Mm-hmm. because they have a whole. They do have like a whole history of making RPGs. Like they're like pretty far.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I was familiar with Baldur's Gate before 3 came out, at least, which for me says a lot.
Well, Baldur's Gate is completely different. That's all BioWare stuff.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, so
the Baldur's Gate is like where BioWare started, and like those games were huge for their time.
Oh, okay. I did not know that they got a hold of that and didn't start it.
No. BioWare made Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, and then kind of, then they went on to make like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and then Mass Effect stuff, and they never looked back. I think they made Neverwinter Nights after it was like the last
don't
D&D
forget
thing they made.
Don't forget about fucking Jade Empire, bitch.
I mean, yeah, obviously they made other games. They made like Dragon Age and stuff.
Shit that like nobody cared about. Yeah.
Dragon Age.
Dragon Age, but like Jade Empire, nobody's out here like fucking. There's like that one.
There are
dude,
people. Yeah. There's the Jade
Empire.
There's
fucking
fans.
Dozens of us. I didn't even play that much of it or anything. It wasn't like Mass Effect for me. just a pull.
Mm-hmm. And I never even really played the Baldur's Gate games, but I've listened to a podcast where people have talked about their playthrough called Mages and Murder Dads, and that podcast is really good.
Oh, man.
That's really what made me a fan of Baldur's Gate.
We're going to be out here fucking talking about, like, you're going to hit me one day and be like, yo, do you want to do, like, an episode on the Demon Slayer anime? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. And we'll start out with you saying, so I didn't actually watch it, but there was a podcast where people watched. I mean,
I would never do that.
But it would be funny, though. Maybe you should do that. No,
I will get backstory, but if I'm going to talk about a thing,
you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that, but you would like. I feel like it's happened before, where like your intro to a thing that we do is like I heard a podcast or something.
That happened with Turn A, yeah.
Oh, right, with Turn A, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've digressed quite heavily.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate's great.
Yeah, so I hear.
It's just their number of options.
The fact
really
that
good
there's
beyond
a fucking any % sex run is or whatever, like time until sex. Like
you get to choose your penis. You choose penis or penis B.
Hell yeah!
They patched in physics for genitalia.
I remember that, dude. I remember seeing when that hit, and people were like, "Did it? It didn't always. Surely it didn't always do this."
Nope. Now you can spin your little character around, and their junk will dangle.
I found the single easiest way to like triple players' playtime in your game. That's incredible. And yeah, you fully went through it and shit, right? Like you beat it, and then you were doing if I recall, you were doing like some kind of like branching out a little into multiple options, and then like doing other stuff to kind of hit a lot at once. But not like everything.
I mean, I was reloading a lot. Like I saw most everything. There are like a couple big things I didn't do because I specifically broke the progress on one encounter by killing a boss early, which locked me out of stuff.
Yeah.
But like otherwise, I saw most of what you can see in one playthrough.
Okay.
And then I did like all of Act 1 for a second playthrough, where I was playing on tech like a harder difficulty, and I was playing solo, so I wasn't getting any party members.
Okay.
I was playing, and I made my character Agent 47. He was just super murderer, and I was just like playing the dark urge, the super evil murderer path.
Hell yeah. Murder hobo style.
Yeah, so I like killed everyone in the main town at the beginning of the game,
Oh, dude, that's
as
great.
you do.
Yeah, I mean, naturally. Shout out to fucking kid me. Like, Fallout 3 was like my first game where you could actually kill people.
Yeah.
And that was me like going through and fulfilling that urge, and I killed like literally everybody that you could kill. And then I got real sad. That was like the last time I did that. I was like real sad afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but Baldur's Gate 3 is actually built for you to, like, there's a party member you can only get if you're going the evil murder everyone in this place path
yeah. Oh,
that
that's
I couldn't get on my first playthrough.
Yeah, see, like,
Like the evil path, it's not as built out as the regular path.
that kind
It's
of
the
makes
good
sense.
path. Although you're kind of, and you're like, normally the game is built for you to do plenty of fucked up shit on your good playthrough anyway. Also,
Sure.
it's the super evil path where you're just murdering everyone is like you're probably gonna get less content, but you know
I mean, it's nice when
they
do
described it as
something.
lonely.
Lonely. Yeah, that makes sense.
It can be a little more lonely.
Yeah. No, that shit's cool. Like that I mean, that ability is like what made it hit with like Disco Elysium for me, right? Mm-hmm. But like this is like more so. But the fact that I mean, I mentioned my moment before in that game where like I was like, man, it'd be fucking cool if they would let me do this thing, and then that was one of the options, and I'm like, holy shit! Never in a million damn years did I expect this. But of course, you're like you're still doing like their story and shit. But Baldur's Gate, like watching all the wild shit, or like just seeing the clips early on of people who were like, what if we just fucking did this and then it works? Like, that's prime. That's fucking top.
And like mechanically, the way they let you do that with the tools of D&D,
Yeah.
like, God, shoving is just so fucking good in this game. You just shove people all over the place, and like jumping, like that's how the speed run goes. You just get like you just super jump through the whole game. Yeah, but the thing that's like really impressive to me about it in terms of like a game with narrative consequences for your choices is the way that the 3-act structure works, where like if you interact with characters in act 1, like a lot of them you'll then check back in with them in act 2 and then check back in with them again in act 3 depending on like if they're still alive.
Yeah.
But that like you check back in with these things over the course of the game, and then like there's an amount of payoff to that at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And that's the shit that's like, you know, AAA games just completely don't do, because you can't guarantee, they don't want to spend their money on that because not everyone will see it. Like the commitment to content that not everyone is going to see because it's cool.
I mean,
it's just kind of incredible.
See, like, I mean, I'm not a fucking AAA.
Because it just raises the ceiling of the game.
Oh, sure.
Right.
And I'm not a AAA company. I'm sure they have tons of market experts who are like, nah, don't fuck with it. Just send this shit. It'll sell anyway.
Yeah.
But
like my go-to example would be like comparing the end of Mass Effect 2 to the end of Mass Effect 3, where like the end of Mass Effect 2 that is a game where you make choices and then they kind of you like have like persona like social links with all your characters, and that kind of plays into the final sequence.
Yeah.
Whereas in 3, like you've built up all this stuff, and it has like a list of all the stuff you've done, but it doesn't fucking matter because they didn't build any of it into like bespoke ways into the end. It's like they give you the end of the game machine where you press your ending button, and
Yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah. But you would
Which
think,
like that game's still good, but it's like that's where like they failed on that RPG choice matter
and
part of
see-
it, and it made people really mad.
Oh yeah, dude.
But
No,
people
got
lost.
fucking
People
pissed.
became completely fucking rabid about it. But like that's the like lineage that was kind of left behind. That like Baldur's Gate 3 is completely like this is doing it
Yeah.
in the way you want on that access.
You would think to a certain extent, and again, I'm sure the numbers don't suggest this. Based on the fact that this is more of a unique thing at this point. Like, if not everybody is seeing the same thing, doesn't that make the game like so much more worth talking about in many ways? You know, like you're getting that, and people are gonna be playing it more. Like, I don't know. To me, that seems like just the best thing. But I suppose there's also a lot of people who would just like, I don't know, maybe there is a lot of people who just play it once, be pissed that they didn't see all the cool shit that their friends saw, and then like, I'm not putting another 100 hours into this. Call of Duty just came out. I got shit to do.
Well, like most games, if you look at the numbers of like achievements, people don't finish them.
Oh yeah. Well, you know why that is.
But it's like the rare game, like the number of people who like play pretty deep in Baldur's Gate 3 is actually pretty good. Just like the numbers on Elden Ring for people getting far were pretty good. Because those games are fucking incredible.
I love the fucking Elden Ring achievement shit where like everybody just fucking went for Witch Girl or whatever. Like everybody just ended up on that line.
Yes. Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh. Yeah, dude.
Everyone's the Sims things, they're out there.
I'm still, I mean, I fucking saw her once and I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
she's got
Yeah,
that
I mean, like,
hat.
Yeah, the romance stuff in BG3 is a huge part of why this game blew up.
Yeah, dude, I wanna fuck and kill and have a story.
Do you want to know a funny fact of history?
It's mostly fucking and killing?
So Baldur's Gate 2 did have character romances. That was mostly like, you say the nice option to the girl and then she likes you or whatever, except for the dark elf who's like, you need to be a little mean.
Ooh.
And then she'll respond to that.
Ooh. Okay.
Viconia. The only reason that game had romances was because Final Fantasy VII with the Aerith and Tifa thing was so popular that we're like, all right, we gotta have romance.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like, dude, people like,
Yeah.
I eat that shit up. I'm people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why, like, Persona captured me so hard. It wasn't
Yeah,
necessarily
no.
because of the other shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, the social link thing is just
huge.
fucking, that's
Yeah.
a brilliant system.
Yeah.
So it made me like Mass Effect.
Yeah, dude, that shit was crazy. I mean, playing Mass Effect, and there was one situation, like, you had to choose between two. Like, someone was gonna, I don't know what the situation was, but I was pretty, I forget if even someone did die, but in the situation, I thought they were going to die, and you had to choose, like, who to send.
In Mass
or
Effect
whatever.
1, you do. You choose which of your human party members is going to die. The
Yeah, that was fucking me up.
boy, the girl.
Yeah, it was fucking me up. I mean, not like, look, I fucking sacrificed a town for Chloe in Life is Strange, all right? But like, me and that dude, what was that, Joker? Or was it there another guy?
No, Joker doesn't die.
Okay. But like, I remember I'm like, I like both of these people. Like, I was sitting on that selection screen for a while.
The thing is, I kind of fucking hate both of them.
Well, I was like 12.
Well, because they're both like, they're the humans, but they're also kind of racist against the aliens.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to that shit.
Um. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that shit is huge. So like the
Characters.
that yeah, characters and story and revisiting characters.
Caden and Ashley.
Okay. Sounds right.
Caden Alenko and Ashley Williams. And then they had to deal with the fact that one of those characters was dead in your game for the next 2 games.
Yeah, yeah. That shit's cool though. That's like, that shit rocks.
I mean, the bigger one was that you could fucking shoot Rex in the face. But that was less of a big deal because I don't think that many people did it.
The big deal.
Or I don't think that many people finished their save that they carried over with that having happened.
Sure.
Like probably people did it and then was like, yeah, but I gotta have Rex. You gotta have Rex.
The big deal was getting to punch that reporter in the face.
Sure.
That shit was like blown. Like that was my first game where any of that shit was like happening. I remember I don't even think I owned it. I think that was a rental. And it was like blowing my fucking, like getting to punch the reporter was like, are you serious?
The Paragon and Renegade like actions where you got to like hit the trigger.
Yeah,
do the thing.
Yeah, dude.
Every time that pops up, I'm doing it because it's the thing. I want to see the thing.
Yeah, man. That shit was sick.
It's like, do you want to see the thing? Yeah, I want to see the thing.
No, I don't know. At some point, I would like to like do an actual thing on like Baldur's Gate, at least 3. When I play it eventually, because it in theory on paper it hits like all of my shit that I want. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing with BG3 is like it doesn't seem it's like not connected to those original games because those original games you're specifically playing as the ball spawn. Who's the son of the god of murder or a child of the god of murder Ball.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember his fucking because he has a name and he has there's a magic card of the male version. But I don't remember the fucking name. But so you're not like the plot of BG3, you're not the ball spawn unless you're the Dark Urge. But Abel Adrian, Garine's ward.
Okay.
Here.
Oh, yeah. I think you showed me before.
I must have. This is the main character of Baldur's Gates 1 and 2. It's the main.
Yeah.
It's the canonical version of the main character.
Yeah.
So that is also a funny, like all the party members in BG3, like they all got magic cards like a year before the game actually came out because they thought the game was going to come out earlier than it did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like not connected until the third act when you actually get to Baldur's Gate, and then they're like pulling out cameos, like they're just a bunch of them. It's like the surprise reveal of Baldur's Gate 3 is that it's a Baldur's Gate game. Because before that, it's like really just a video game version of 5th edition D&D.
Sure.
Like that's its primary thing it's doing is because that's what Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 were, where they were the video game version of D&D at the time, even though they're using that real time with pause gameplay that's not really actually like D&D, whereas BG3 is pretty much like 5th edition rules with some house rules on top of it to make things work.
Sure.
Like they made initiative only a D4 roll, so that when you get a +1 bonus to initiative, that actually matters. That actually does stuff. Whereas in like if you're rolling at a D20 in the way that tabletop rules are, like a +1 to initiative is fucking useless.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's nice. Yeah, dude. That game seems to slap. I've stayed relatively like spoiler free on it even, which is I mean, I guess that kind of coincides with me like bailing from literally all social media.
Sure.
Like it was released, so
yeah. But like, and that's like my second playthrough where I was playing as the solo character. It's like a whole different fucking game when I'm like playing a stealth game. It's just like completely different. It's very fun how deep the mechanisms, and I just know enough about 5th edition from like playing some and poring over those books that like I find the like I've already like put thought into min-maxing stuff or whatever for video gameness, and like so that shit's just like clicks. And
one of my friends has recently started Baldur's Gate because it came to consoles or whatever, or specifically Xbox. I forget.
It came to Xbox more recently.
Okay, that was okay.
It came to PlayStation like a month later.
Okay, because he's on Xbox.
Yeah,
and I guess he just like he didn't know that it was like literally this is D&D rules like that shit. So he didn't know that you could make like, I'm not going to say wrong, but like you can make your character be its own kind of difficulty if you fuck up, you know? So he managed to do that a little bit, and then like I don't know why. He's just playing however, but he like didn't really stick around to do like side shit. He just moved straight into Act 2, and he's just like not having a good time regards to like difficulty levels.
There is a warning when you're leaving to go to Act 2. It's like, this is Act 2. You're gonna have a bad time if you go forward. There is a warning.
Yeah, and he just sent it.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was funny.
But yes, so because it's the way 5th edition works, you can just build a character that sucks.
Yeah.
And hilariously in this, they took away a lot of the restrictions on multi-classing to let you fucking go nuts. So you can just be level 1 in every class.
Hell yeah.
There's an achievement for doing that without respecing. But so the big thing they did add is they let you respec pretty easily. Where you can just change your class of you, and you can change the class of fucking everyone.
That's pretty cool.
And there are like hirelings you can get, which are like characters that don't have any story attached to them. If you like don't want to use one of the like main side characters in the game for some reason, you just want a half orc to be there and hit stuff or whatever.
Sure.
But like the story characters, you can also respec them, but they like won't be reflected in their story that they're a different character. Like the story will still treat them as their original class.
Oh, I mean that makes sense. Like they can only do so much.
Yes.
Like, God damn, could you imagine?
Yeah.
Nightmare.
But like I respect my like whole party was like fucking heavy art was like frontline hitting stuff, so we were pretty fucking tough.
Hell yeah. I respect it.
It is very funny though, because of the way D&D works, that like I think it's like level 4 I think is like the hardest part of the game. It's like right before you get an extra attack.
Oh, sure.
Where like you just have so many tools at your disposal late game.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the peak of the difficulty, really. It's just funny. And just like that game is just like, it's a great RPG, and also it's like a fucking great tactics game, because like you're between all the summons you can get at late game, like there could just be so many fucking and so many enemies in like any given combat. Like it just Fights get big in a way that
Yeah,
I find
fucking-
extremely fun.
Yeah. That's why it fucking set Steam Deck on fire.
Yes. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, it's great. They added one of the last patches just added an epilogue where you just get to have a party with your characters after the end of the story.
Hell
So I
yeah.
just got to load up my save and enjoy that, and I was like, hell yeah, this is
That's
great.
dope, dude. What a good addition. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's like what I want from every fucking thing that we've ever watched. And even like a lot of the times when you play a thing, you know, like, man, these
Yeah.
I just watched 200 episodes of these characters being fucking miserable fighting everything. Maybe we could get an episode of them like getting ice cream.
I mean, it was the thing that really saved or turned around Mass Effect 3 for me was the Citadel DLC they did, which was just like a fun little story, and also you had a big party with all your party members.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I need to dive back into those
Perfect.
games. I received the Mass Effect Legendary Edition as a gift for from a friend. So
Sure.
Gotta
That game's
hop in.
been dirt cheap.
I know, but like I just never went in on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tried playing because I
It's
own
time.
Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2, and those are like fucking unplayable or whatever on Steam because of company shenanigans and shit. So that was
Sure.
disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
But Baldur's Gate, dude. Shit seems wild.
They supported the cheese wheel playthrough.
Yeah, I do remember seeing something about that.
And because I was like, I would watch all the developer. They would do the panel from hell as the development was going on, where they would like show off their progress for while the game was in early access.
Mm-hmm.
And I like just watched all those, and they were just like the main dude Sven, who's like the CEO and like the head designer. Like he'd be wearing like a suit of armor all the time. Like that was when the game won at the Game Awards. He was wearing that suit of armor.
Nice.
It's just very like they and he's just always trying to make the game he wanted to play.
Yeah,
And
dude.
like that really extremely shows, and it's just great. And
that's fantastic.
I just hope they can keep making cool stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's a little scary because their company grew so fucking much making this giant fucking video game.
Yeah.
So
And
how
like
long can they preserve the thing that makes them good?
yeah, like keep the magic. Also now like fucking expectations sky high.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Because
Kind of
like,
don't envy them.
yeah, no, it's. It is funny because like they were like expecting it to be good, but they were big, but they weren't expecting it to be nearly as big as it was.
Yeah. Huh.
But it was like in a hole, and coming out a month before Starfield, like bumping up the release date. The rare game that came out early, specifically to go like, oh no, our console version's going to be late. That's going to put us right up against Starfield. We have to just put the PC version out like a month early.
Yeah. The funny thing is it might not have mattered much.
Yeah, I
based on how
wonder.
that game went.
Well, I feel like it would have mattered just in terms of like
Not as many
people's
people.
dollars and people's like
That's true.
time in the moment.
That's true.
Um,
I wonder if I wonder if they came out though. I wonder if more people would have, if possible, for the people who would have gotten both anyway. Like, would they have dropped Starfield sooner? Because I think a lot of people were on copium with that one. After a certain point, like they played it, they were loving it, and then like that kind of waned. I wonder if that would have accelerated
know.
that for some people. But yeah,
that one's hard because I never liked those Bethesda games. They've never been my thing.
I mean, I heard about
But-
it and it sounded cool, and then I saw it, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
just, okay.
the like the big thing of those games, the appeal of it was like walking. You see the mountain, you walk to it. But Starfield, it's all fast travel.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
you're
it's
just in
garbage.
menus all the time, and it's like you've like lost. They like lost the one thing that like made those games so appealing to people.
Yeah.
Because it certainly isn't the fucking writing. God.
No, 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 no. Do you know what? Do you know what my game of the year was?
Street Fighter 6.
It was Street Fighter 6.
That's a
250 hours, baby.
That's almost as much as I played Magic for half the year.
Which is a lot. Yeah, I guess. How long was it? I mean, it came out. When did it come out? June. I want to say June.
Yeah, I think middle of the year.
But like I played it in June initially because like I day one that shit. Because they had the key was they had the demo or the beta or whatever, and I played it and that was like, okay, I think I can learn this. And then you day one'd it, so I also grabbed it and it worked on Steam Deck, which was key.
Yeah,
and then I played a little bit, and then I didn't play again until like fucking September or something. Like I played for a while in summer, and then when I went to visit the US, I dropped it. And then like yeah, between like September or October or something, and now I put in like 250 hours or 200 hours
Hell
or
yeah.
something.
That's a good ass Street Fighter.
Dude, yeah. I mean, I feel like on a different, in the future, honestly, it can't be a different year in the past, but because this is like literally like my first fighter, like, because I've probably explained on the podcast before, and I know you know this, like when I was little, I'd noodle around on Soul Calibur 2 all the time with my brother, but trying any of the like combos and stuff, I just couldn't get them to work, and I was like, I can't, this just isn't for me. It's, whatever, not everybody can do everything. And I just maintained that mindset for like eternity. Like I just, and it never it wasn't like an anger thing. I was just like, whatever. And like if I remember grabbing Skullgirls, I was like, oh, this is that kind of game. Oh well, I guess just not for me. Too bad. I didn't even try. And then with Street Fighter, I'm like, fuck it, I guess I'll try. I'm like, oh, I could do it the whole time. Okay. And then I really liked it, and I spent like 18 hours trying out all the characters, and I fucking went balls deep into like every other fighter.
Hell yeah.
But in the future, I don't know if like a fighting game will necessarily take that top spot, but like, I mean, for your first fighting game, when that fucking strikes perfectly at your core, like,
Yes.
that shit's magical. My favorite gaming moment in 2023, and probably of like certainly the last few years, maybe far more than the last few years, when I fought you the first time and we did like 100 fucking sets, and I think I took you for like a round. I think I beat you like one round or maybe two out of that 100 sets.
Yeah, I think it was like a couple maybe.
Yeah, but I didn't win a game or anything.
Yeah.
Nothing. And then like I practiced and I went into fucking ranked, and I like kept playing, and I was like, for me, I went into the training mode and was like practicing and shit, because like I had to learn how to do the fucking inputs consistently. And I came back and like you couldn't fuck around and just like only jump kick me or whatever. Like, and it was like I could tell that like you actually had to try. Like that was one of the best fucking feelings in gaming, like,
Hell
ever.
yeah.
That shit was incredible. It was like crack. Like that
That shit feels good when you get there.
It's so fucking wild. And then like, I mean, I followed it up with the funniest moment where I was like, I wanted to get, I did my placements or whatever, and I got into like iron, and you got in bronze, and I'm like, I'm gonna get to fucking bronze. I'm gonna kick Hank's ass. And by the time I got to bronze, you had gotten into silver. So I'm like, I'm gonna get to silver. I'm gonna kick Hank's ass. And I forget, you also got to silver, right?
Yeah,
I think
silver
we
is
established
where I
that.
still am.
Yeah. And then we must, because we were talking about Halo or something, and you mentioned you were like gold or whatever, and for some reason, long after this chat, my brain decided that you were gold in Street Fighter, so I was like, I'm gonna get gold and kick Hank's ass.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm like, I got gold, bitch, we're even, and you're like, what are you talking about? So I mean, at that, and then I just like,
I didn't play nearly enough. I didn't play enough to get gold. Are you crazy?
yeah, I was just like, apparently, yeah, I am crazy. But I just kept rolling, dude. Plat 5, no sign of stopping. Like, that improvement's incredible. And then, like, just opening up that entire genre. Like, and I gotta say, I mean, a lot of the game, like, I don't have high quality of life expectations for something from, like, 97 or whatever, you know? But, like, even going back, like, Soul Calibur 6, Tekken 7 and stuff, like, Street Fighter is really fucking solid. Like, that game runs better than, like, Tekken 7 does on the Steam Deck. Even, like, the Tekken 8 demo, and that, you know, I don't know if it's just more graphically intense or what. Could definitely be that. But I run Street Fighter 6 at 1080p, and I get a locked 60 at, like, low settings, but who cares? And, like, I mean, the UI is a little weird, but, like, the way it just keyboard just works, like, when I tried on controller at first, like, that shit just works. The loading, me and you getting into a match was, like, snappy and easy. Unlike Tekken, where it's pretty easy, but slow as shit.
Like, yeah, Tekken 7 just has loading problems.
Yeah, dude. The training mode is fucking, like, the options there are wild. Like, that's a really, like, at this point, in some, like, I joined a fighting game.
No, Street Fighter 6 is fucking incredible. Like,
oh yeah,
it's never gonna match Third Strike for me, because that's the one that I, like, learned by getting my face kicked in.
Yeah,
for me. But, like, 6 is an incredible game, and it's I'm so happy that it's good, because 5, particularly at launch, was so, like, soul crushing to me. Like, the part where it was like I was really frustrated, and then, like, it had, like, a root kit.
Oh
like,
yeah,
like, for DRM, and I just completely uninstalled it out of disgust. Like, I was pretty fucking down on Capcom for a while. And no, Street Fighter 6 is good.
Yeah, dude.
And, like, I was pretty sure it was going to be good, because Capcom's, like, kind of figured their shit out since 5 came out. Like, 5 got better over time, and also just Capcom's been much better at, like, just releasing solid games that people like.
Yeah.
And not, like, I don't know, there was just an era where, like, they really felt like they were gouging players on stuff. Like what I think of is Marvel 3, and then Ultimate Marvel 3 coming out as, like, a separate game, so close on the heels. Like, I think within the year of that game coming out, like, as another full price game, I was so fucking mad.
Yeah, no, that shit's gross.
But that's, like, a long time ago at this point.
Yeah. I mean,
but, like, that's the thing of, like, for me as someone who, like, has liked fighting games for a long time, like, just trying to keep up with them, it's like the way that you get charged for them and stuff, and, like, the way that they would be not what you want, or, you know, whatever, was just, like, draining. But just, like, your energy in, like, being interested in it and just being able to jam games on a bunch of fighting games has been so fucking good.
Yeah, dude.
like it's reinvigorating, because, like, that's where those games are the best, is where you're just jamming against a friend. Like, online,
like, yo, fight me.
Online can be of limited fun for me, because
And I like
It's just a different thing.
I mean, I played a little bit of Grand Blue, the little bit of Tekken or whatever. Like, I have zero fucking desire to go online with random people and try playing it and getting better at those games in that way. But like, Street Fighter 6 is the game I'm going to do that with, and like maybe when I'm someday, if I'm done with that, there'll be another game that I do with. But I can't imagine trying to do that in like all of these games or like every new game that comes out.
Yep.
No, just playing with like getting to do stuff with you. That's great. Also now we have so many games to choose from when we want to play something. We have all these fighters.
Yeah.
And it's been great. Like there were some other good moments in the fighting game Discord. It's for like newer people for like learning and stuff. But of course there are a ton of people who at this point are like, there's the people who are teaching as well and like really experienced. And it was great because there was a ton of people in a voice chat and in a lobby. And like I was playing against masters and like I was getting my ass fucking thoroughly handed to me. There's a dude that I didn't know, like he's a known like he's not a pro player, but like he does well at tournaments. He did to me what you did to me the first time we played. Like I didn't get to press a fucking button.
Nah.
And but even like except for him, playing against other people is great because like some of the people in the lobby will just like spectate, and like nobody's expecting to win, but like that community is so nice. Which I think you have to be if you're kicking each other's asses all the time. Like, if you kicked a kid's ass and then you were a little dick to him, he's not going to come back. But if the community is, like, supporting them, like, yo, dude, someday this will be you kicking the person's ass or whatever. Like, I was getting beat, but then I did a wake up super. I did something that like it was the correct play and it was a little dicey on whether it would work. And just hearing someone in the background being like, that's it. Like it feels so good. And it's just been a great experience.
Sure.
And it is interesting. Like I engage in a lot of bitching about motion controls, about modern controls. I still agree, like they're a great thing, and it's like a lot of the other people that I see talk about it. Some people complain and they're stupid for doing so because that's brought in so many new people also. Sure. And then like because modern controls are super accessible, and then sometimes people play modern and they're like, what if I did more damage? Like I really like this game, but what if my hits actually hit for full power? And then they learn classic, and now they're on their whole train and everything. And I think it seems like Street Fighter 6 way more than like the other ones is just very good at onboarding in that way. Like it's brought a lot of new people in, I think.
Man. It's too bad about how fucking much they charge for costumes.
God damn, dude. I want that Marissa wedding dress. Yeah, you have to buy you have to get
like they made so many good costumes for $5 and they were not this exorbitant, but that's because like that was what kept that game alive.
Yeah, they had to save the fucking game. Yeah,
they had to keep it going on life support by selling Chun-Li dresses.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, the Chun-Li outfit in 6 even is so good. But like, if they were $2 a piece or $3 or even maybe like $5, I'd probably pick up 3 or 4 of them at least.
Yeah, no, they're priced in a way where like maybe you pick up the one for your character, but that's fucking it.
Yeah, and you know what the kind of the double. I mean, it's good either way, but like it is a little extra salt in the wound because they put in an option so that you can choose your opponent's like outfit. And this is for like Blanca has like the weird costume or whatever, and it can make it a little hard to see what he's doing. So you can set it to not like to force him into whatever costume. If I had
what are you paying for the fucking skin for?
So here's the thing. I mean, yeah, right. There's the concept of like if I'm buying, it's for me to look at, I guess. But if I could just buy all of them in a nice little, say, $10 or $15 pack on Steam, without buying their extra currency bullshit, I would probably get all of them because I would love to set the cool outfits for characters. Manon's outfit
the
is fucking
I
sick.
forgot that like they're also fucked with how they line up with the currency.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh yeah. No, they go right into the classic. Like you buy the currency and it's not enough. If you get the I think it's 610 coins, you get enough for 2 outfits because they're 300 coins a piece, and then you have 10 coins left over that you can't do fuck all with. It's great. I still have not pulled the trigger on any costumes yet.
Yeah.
I don't know that I will. Like I'll wait and get like the fucking Ultimate Arcade Edition Street Fighter 6 someday.
Yeah. That shit's fucked up.
Yeah.
Also, I find the story mode pretty boring, but
The World Tour.
yeah.
I think it's a cool
But that is
step.
It's a good idea. Like, just this has been a problem for me always with Street Fighter games. I find the story, the way they write it and tell it, just incredibly boring. Just like not, which is so weird because their characters are so good, and like you just look at them and you're like, yeah. But like when they come to tell a story mode, it's like this is the most boring shit in the world.
The fucking look. I don't know about all the characters, but certainly Marisa's arcade mode was a better story than her shit in World Tour.
Sure.
Like, it turns out she's just Goku. Like, she's literally just Goku. And if she gets beat, she's like, that's fucking awesome. And then she meets someone else, like her and Manon. Manon is also kind of just Goku, and then they date. Like, that's fucking top tier. But then in the World Tour mode, you get like none of that little shit.
Yeah.
But no, it felt really meh. My big disappointment with World Tour, like, was like super early on, and I think that really diluted my opinion of it at that, like, for all of the rest of it. You get in that first battle with Luke, and you're underleveled, underpowered, all that. You're not supposed to win. I fucking won, and he doesn't acknowledge it at all. It just goes into the cutscene like you got your ass kicked. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Seriously, you couldn't do like this one thing?
No.
And that, it's whatever.
Yeah, that's the tone.
Yeah, but I think I think World Tour is like a cool idea.
And like I think their like their lobby thing for online is like funny, but I never go into it because I just
the fact
access
that
it through a menu that's like way more efficient.
Dude, the fact that you have to go back to the main, all the way to the main menu, like the mode select, hit that button, and then go into that physical lobby, and that's how you sign up for like the weekly tournament stuff. What the fuck? I hate it so much. Like, you should be able to sign up out. I get that to do the tourney, you have to be in the lobby, and it just pulls you into the match. That makes sense. But like, holy shit, just let me sign up like outside of that menu. Cause you can sign up in any lobby from any lobby. So it's just, that whole thing is ridiculous. Also the custom character creator is fucking nuts. The fact that they let you just do
it's
anything.
The Monster Factory.
Dude, like there was some I don't know if you saw, they did a Spy X Family collaboration recently.
Yes.
And they put in Yours dress. Some of the fucking characters wearing that dress is too good. Like, just the most hideous fucking people with like this leather sexy dress. It's great.
What they won't let you do in BG3. Because Baldur's Gate 3's character creators kind of locked down into making, like, you only get to choose from like presets for faces and stuff.
Oh yeah, sure.
And presets for body types. Like they don't let you go Monster Factory with it.
Yeah,
because they wanted to preserve a particular look at minimum.
Yeah,
in a way that I think the Street Fighter 6 character creator is amazing, but it was impossible for me to ever make a face that I was happy with. So just fucking like put an object over my head and then I feel better. But
my favorite part about that creator is that you can actually make your character in a way that they're fucking terrible. Like, you can actually make them so big and shit that they just whiff all of their hits. Or like if they're tiny and their arms are stubby and shit, like you just can't do anything. It is wild. But no, I mean, what a fucking ride. Nobody's more surprised than me. It's a good fucking time, turns out. Getting your ass kicked is awesome.
It's great. You get your teeth kicked in, and then eventually you get better, and you don't get your teeth kicked in as much. It's such a good high.
Dude, I mean...
But I will say, the second time you want to do that, you're like, you know how fucking hard it is. And you're like, do I need to get my teeth kicked in?
Yeah. I mean, me finally holding my ground in like Street Fighter and then going into the DNF duel, and you're playing that giant dude with the hammer, and I was like, why was I born to suffer? Why? Oh man.
Yeah.
But like, I never verbalize this ever, of course, but there is a certain satisfaction also of like seeing other people who are like, I've been hard stuck at like silver whatever for like 3 months, and I shot past that. Like, obviously everyone's on their own track and shit. I'm not like making fun of them, but like, it's a thing that I've become good at, and it feels really good. Cause that shit, even in like Halo and stuff, like that's kind of the difference. Is any of the near equivalents? You have something like Halo or Battlefield, where I felt I was pretty good at those games, but it's still a team thing at the end of the day.
Yes. With Street Fighter, it's just you.
And like the closest thing I played Magic. I don't think I was terrible at Magic, but like that is not entirely skill based. Like there's a lot of, you could just get fucked sometimes on land or whatever. Yeah, no, it's just like the combination of like, it's just me, and then like, I don't know, it's just very solid. It's hitting everything that I never knew I wanted to be hit. Pun intended.
Hell yeah.
So yeah. No,
I do kind of get frustrated by the drive rush system.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Just because because like every time I step away from the game, like I'm like having to learn that over because I don't have like the muscle memory for the game specific stuff, right?
Yeah, sure.
And so like every time I'm like come back to it, I'm like, right, like it's this specific game mechanics that I'm running up to that I'm having friction with.
Yep.
And just every time, and I'm like, if I just played more, I would get it, but
yeah. And like the one that like the drive rush, like that dash, I think they're gonna make adjustments to it, but
it is kind of wild that they haven't really touched. They haven't balanced it at all.
Oh
really.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. Like their open admission that they're doing, I don't know in the future, but like they said they literally came out and said like we're not doing any big balance changes for a year. Like that shit's not coming until April. Which like that's if they release their patch and it's great, like they'll be fucking heroes or whatever for letting the game fucking fully reveal what's what, so they can.
I actually think it's smart.
Yeah,
I appreciate it in an era where I feel like games, developers are like have taken advantage of the fact that they can update their game all the time and have kind of abused players. I mean, with it by fiddling a little too much with a game people are playing.
Yeah, but I do think if the balance patch comes out and it's fucked, they're gonna get so much more heat for it,
Oh, totally.
Like you waited a year to fuck the game, and like there were people who were complaining about it. I wouldn't say I was one of them because like I was too new to have any opinions, you know. Like everybody's fucking beating my ass. I don't know who's good. But like early on, I think everybody was really on board the Ken and JP hate train, for example. And if they would have just balanced that, it turns out DJ would have just fucking taken over everything because he's actually insane. Like he's cracked as hell. But now, like, that has revealed itself finally. So, like, a bunch of the people in the Discord I'm in who play DJ, they're like, yeah, I'm having fun with him now before he gets fucking kneecapped. Because, like, he's brutal. So, like...
Did you see the video of the guy getting throw looped over and over again?
Maybe.
There was, like, a top-level tournament where one of the best players, like, he just got thrown over and over and over and over and over and over again until he was dead.
That sounds right. Yeah, DJ has a
and
throw
it's just,
loop, and I think it was DJ. I know DJ has a throw loop. I don't know if that's
DJ.
You're talking about.
He was playing JP, and I think the other person was playing Ken.
Okay. Yeah, no, I know. Okay. Yeah, a few of them have throw loops.
And it's just very funny because, like, you look at it and you're just... Because the thing is, that's fine. That's not the game being broken. That's entirely mind game.
Oh, dude, 100%.
Because there's so many ways to fight it, but just in every situation, he was making your three options or whatever. He was making the call, and he was just wrong every time against throw.
Yeah, no, that shit. I mean, I got thrown fucking 8 times back to back once. Yeah. I counted, and like sometimes at a certain point you're like they wouldn't possibly do it again. There's no fucking way. After 7 consecutive throws, they would really go for number 8. Surely they know that I wouldn't fall for it, and then I'd get thrown.
And like that's the thing that I love about Street Fighter 3 is like in the corner, it's just like you have these options for what you can do on wake up. Your opponent has these options of what they can do to counter, and like it's rock paper scissors. Like it's one of those is going to play out, but it's never like you're solved or whatever.
Yeah,
there's always an option for what you're going to do to them, and there's always an option for what you're going to do for counterplay.
The few things I've seen like regarding the game mechanics itself are mostly around like drive rush. Drive impact, I think a lot of people, like some people are calling it scrubby because like sometimes you just fucking hit the button and it works at any level, and people don't.
I mean, I hate it, but that's just because like,
well, you're not used to it. So then
I'm not used to it, and it easily counters what I am used to.
Yeah.
Of like hitting hitting a person twice.
Yeah.
Like when I hit them with the high and the low, that's not the 3 times to cancel out them pressing that button. It's fucking annoying.
Yeah. But drive rush, like, people are fine with the concept of it. The problem is that it's really cheap. And it's stupidly fucking... Like, DJ has one of the fastest drive rushes in the game. And that directly correlates to him being really broken. So people are just thinking, like, maybe if you made it cost a little... Like, don't let people fucking drive rush 3 times back to back to back in one combo or whatever. And then the parry system. Because for those who don't know, in this game, you can just hold a button. In theory.
And it's interesting because like the way the parries work, like they nerfed the hell out of them, and then they still turned out to be really fucking good.
That's because perfect parries, like it's easy.
Just because perfect parries,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I saw
the other interesting thing about the throw loops thing also is interesting because that was a thing in Street Fighter V which is like, you know, the same team worked on both these games. Street Fighter V had throw loops, and they took them out, and then they put them back in for Street Fighter 6 because they decided, you know, there were enough tools that it would be okay.
Yeah.
So that's just interesting to me also. there's just so many. There's so much stuff, and like parrying is part of that, where like you just have so many tools on the defense.
Totally. I think what I saw as a suggestion for perfect, because in particular, like perfect parry is fucking insane in what it does, and for how well compared to how easy it is. And I just saw someone say that like if you introduce a low parry and then a normal high parry, like just separating it into those two options introduces enough of variance that like it makes it okay. Because right now you just,
because that's what Street Fighter, that's what Third Strike has basically. Yeah. Although there's no parry button, it's pressing.
Yeah, you have to, which makes it a whole thing. I will say, grabbing somebody out of a parry feels pretty fucking good. They turn blue and you command grab their ass.
Hell yeah!
But the thing that like also, because people, I think the community I'm in is pretty good about like remaining reasonable, because usually they're like, we do all have to remember that like as far as an initial game goes, like this is the first iteration of their balance and shit. It's pretty fucking solid. Like
it's unreal really good for the first iteration of a Street Fighter. Yeah. It's the best one. I'm not even. There's not a question.
Fucking doubt. Fucking doubt. OG Street Fighter wants a word.
The greatest fighting game. Honestly.
What if you really just mashed? What if it was just?
What if you could do everything all at once and nothing ever?
What? What if you could kill someone in 3 fireballs or less?
But also, like, sometimes you'll just never get a fireball to come out.
That was, like, the easiest campaign to beat, I'll say. Because, like, shit was so fucking busted that if you just got into the rhythm and, like, locked in, you're good.
Hell yeah.
For how stupid it is. Anyway. Street Fighter 6 is something special. I mean, that's going to be like my, like that forever. It'll be like my first fighter.
Yeah.
So, I'm just very, very hyped about it. And we'll have, I mean, like, I guess we have talked about like, it a fair bit, but we'll have our full fighting games episode too.
Yeah. I have plenty of other fighting game stuff to talk about.
And so will I.
Much longer history with that genre.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But Street Fighter has always been a game that gets better. Like, all of the Street Fighters have improved. So, Street Fighter 6 is definitely a great foundation for them to build on.
Oh, yeah. No, totally. I mean,
Chun-Li's already in that game, so it's not like I need more characters.
We need fucking Sakura. Then I can play a Shoto character.
It's true. They do need Sakura in there.
I'll be able to do Fireball, Dragon Punch. Get fucked.
I want a Kuma in there.
Well, he's fucking coming. You and everybody else are getting a Kuma.
My favorite Tekken 7 character.
Get the fuck out of here. So, I mean, I guess my decent segue into another game is that Street Fighter 6 is in a unique position. Like, for example, I don't think Tekken 8 has a shot at being my game of the year unless it's a really weak year for me or games generally, right? Because, like, this was such a high. I think if I had already been on, like, the fighter train and, like, I played the same games that I played, honestly, my game of the year might be Slay the Princess.
Okay.
That game is fucking... It also kind of did the Disco Elysium thing. Obviously, it's a lot more confined than something like Baldur's Gate. But holy shit, the options in that game do not stop. For how short each little loop is, like, it's insane. Like, it was blowing my fucking mind at, like, even just in the one full run that I had. Like, this is crazy. Like, I thought I did the same shit I did, but I clicked, like, one different thing, and now I'm in a totally different place. And that combined with like the voice acting and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
really just sent it. And like, just, I don't know, I'm in the dark, I got my headphones on, I'm playing that game, like it's just a vibe. And it went a long way. Also, there was one of the iterations of the princess was her as a giant muscle woman, and she calls you baby bird in a demeaning tone, and then it was my game of the year. What can I say? It's a joke, mostly in that I don't really have an urge to be called baby bird. That's not really that's not me.
Okay. Sure. Fair enough.
And like there's some really sweet moments that are also like kind of horrifying. I don't know. It does a good blend. Like some of the shit you find is like silly as hell, and then some of it you're like, this is one of the most emotional scenes I've seen in a game in a hot minute, or whatever.
Sure.
So yeah, that was just a total surprise. I went into that like totally blind, and just it happened to be it went way beyond what I expected it to be.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend that game.
Fair enough.
Did anybody play it? Did you play any of it? Have you watched any of it? I feel like nobody in my circle talked about
Paul
it.
played it.
He did play it. That's right.
Yeah, he streamed it.
Okay.
I watched a little bit of it, but he didn't hook me.
Okay.
In what
I mean, as long as people like fucking saw it. I forgot that he streamed it. I'm like, does nobody know this exists? Like, what?
No, people know it exists.
Okay. Well, in my circle,
people who like it really like it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Unlike
the
visual novel type game that I really liked for this year, The Pale Beyond.
I don't even know.
That's not true. I saw it on I did see it on one person's game of the year list, but Paul didn't play it. And I keep bugging him about it. Mostly as a joke, but
hold the fuck up.
Yep.
You're stuck in the ice. This one, you're stuck in the ice. You didn't ask to be on this expedition. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I read when I Googled it just now, it said a polar exploration game, and then I thought it was just gonna be what's the one where the world is frozen and they're all on the train? Snowpiercer. I was like, this is just Snowpiercer, but it's okay.
It's not Snowpiercer.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
So I first played the demo of this that was pretty extensive. Where you start out by being hired on as the second in command for this expedition on this ship.
Mm-hmm.
And then you meet the whole crew and you meet the captain, and then in the demo, then you get to a point where the ice closes in around you and traps your ship, and you have to evacuate the ship onto the frozen ice and take the engine out of your fucking boat so that you can survive.
Yeah.
And that's in the demo. It's the demo ends with the hull of your ship being fucking eaten by the ice. Just your boat is just gone.
Jesus.
And it's so good. So this game falls in a genre that I really love, that has kind of come about, and a lot of these games are all published by the same company, Fellow Traveler, I think it is. Which are visual novels that then have sort of
other stuff,
survival management aspects to
Citizen
them.
Sleeper.
Citizen Sleeper, yeah.
Did you play Suzerain? Were you the one who?
Yes, Suzerain.
Okay,
that
Suzerain.
was I really liked. Suzerain was probably my favorite one before this. Where it's just I call it they're in management drag or whatever. They have they don't have the underlying systems of a real simulation, but they have all the parts of it that you actually care about, which is like making the decisions.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's and like I've heard people who are like into simulation games make this argument is that they kind of become better than the simulation games because they're more thoughtful about creating fun experiences out of the decisions that you're making. Where like Frostpunk is an amazing game with that is kind of like the simulation narrative game, but the Frostpunk has the full simulation thing, but also those games kind of the scenarios kind of always play out one way.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't in terms of like what you actually end up doing, the fact that they like did the work of making a good city builder like kind of becomes irrelevant weirdly
I could
because
see
it doesn't fully have it just doesn't become like that interesting or thing to mess around with on those ends. It's interesting to play through as a narrative. So these narrative games that then have just those elements sort of around them to increase the flavor and make it and give you decision points, but also like feel like you're messing with knobs mechanically.
Yeah.
It's really good, and The Pale Beyond I think is a really good example of this kind of thing, and it sort of goes through different stages as you go on this journey to the ice, and it becomes more and more desperate or whatever as you're trying to not die, and you can lose, which it's like if it happens, it is annoying because you have to start over, which I did. That is sort of the downside with these games is like if you actually fail, it can kind of break it for you if you don't have the patience to try again.
Well, yeah, and with something like more of a simulation thing, like that's just kind of the nature of those, I feel. But like if there's more narrative stuff going on, that would feel way worse. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just like you have this full cast, like all these characters that exist, and then you're like assigning each of them specific tasks or whatever. And it's a good story. They added epilogue DLC or whatever, like that added stuff that I still haven't played that I kind of want to go back to see more of that stuff. But mostly it was about the journey. There's a part where one of the guys has an accordion and starts singing a song that's just shit talking you. and like you then that's a situation where you have to like decide how to react to that, like whether you're gonna be chill or whether you're gonna fucking get mad or whatever. And that was just fucking great. I love a game with a song that's shit talking me. I don't know.
A game good.
A game I didn't play, Mario and Rabbids. They had a new DLC that brought back the singing character from the first game. That in the first game had like an opera about shit talking Mario. So they brought him back, and he had a song shit talking Rayman, who was in the DLC for that thing.
That's sick.
Because that has like Grant Kirkhope did the soundtrack for that game.
Yeah.
Like that game's like it's put by Ubisoft, but it's like the spiritual successor to fucking Rare's Nintendo games. Because like extremely because of the music. But I didn't actually play that game. I was just looking up best songs in video games for the Bernies, and I found that one. I was like, oh, this came out. Okay. This is amazing.
Nice.
It's not quite as good as shit talking Mario though, just because shit talking Mario is better than shit talking Rayman. Gonna be real.
Yeah. Oh, I would agree, 100%.
But yeah, no, The Pale Beyond. It's just it's a good visual novel management game. It's one of those.
There was a game that did like the thing I wish every game would do.
What's that?
It just fucking came out. It just released. That was Hi-Fi Rush.
Sure.
We just are going to say this game is a thing, and then boom, you can go buy it. One of the things
you can go play it. I didn't even
Like, what if you just fucking
it's on Game
bought
Pass.
it right now? Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't even have to fucking buy it. I've gotten real tired of the like, we're announcing this game. Look, it's our teaser. Like, fucking release date, like 2028, maybe it'll get delayed or some shit. Like, just don't tell me. Don't tell me about this shit until it's ready. Like,
Yeah.
I get that, companies want to build hype and they want to maybe judge stuff or whatever else, but like, then, oh, this is releasing in this year, and then if it's not out that year, the fucking internet riots and whatever else and start sending death threats to the devs who are working 100-hour weeks. Like, just announce it and then it's out and nobody has to wait, and you can take as long as you need because nobody knows it exists and blah blah blah. But I there's a time and a place. I understand, but like, It does annoy me that every fucking game, no matter its level of notoriety, is now in that state.
Smaller games are doing that because they need fucking money so they can finish the game. Like in some cases that's like drumming up excitement to hire people to work on the game. But yeah.
Sure.
Sometimes it's Bethesda saying, yeah, we're gonna make Elder Scrolls 6. We're not fucking working on it yet, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
They announced that at the same time as they announced Starfield, just because, like, they're like, yeah, well, we're gonna make that. Like, obviously, it's gonna happen eventually.
But like, to get to circle back to Hi-Fi Rush, that's not the only reason I liked it. Go figure. I mean, that game was, here's the thing, that game was very good. It did, I settled on it a little after a while. I really liked the writing. The music was fine. It wasn't my exact thing. I kind of felt the same way about it as I felt about Fooly Cooly. Like, this doesn't go hard enough for me, but also it was very popular otherwise, so like, they made the right choice. I'm not that demographic, but
sure,
I like the writing. I think the combat was really fun. I like the world fucking all being in sync and shit. The fact that like his music player became his heart, like, that's incredible. 10 out of 10 concept. Love it.
It is very good.
I just at a certain point, like, I'm just bad at games. At this game, like, the combat was not vibing with me. I was doing like shit, and that made it kind of miserable in some ways. But everything else about it was like super solid. I love the level design, the I don't know, not narration, but like, I don't know, just like, sometimes as you're going through a game world and there's like characters talking to you in your ear or whatever, it can be really fucking annoying. And in this game, it was not. Like, they crushed all of that stuff.
Sure.
And it just made me really happy. Also, it looks great. I love the art style and stuff.
Yeah, the colorful, cel-shaded look is good.
Mm-hmm.
That game's incredibly charming. I kind of thought, I didn't play it because I kind of figured that playing at a beat 'em up like that, like a action game like that, to the rhythm was just going to be really annoying to me. In terms of playing it, but it was very cool.
See, for me, it worked really well until it was later once you had a bunch of shit going on, and then I'm like, playing to the rhythm feels like I'm getting fucked. But whatever.
Sure.
But no, that shit was really cool.
My favorite rhythm game of the year, Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line.
It's gonna be Final Bend Line for all eternity.
It's just kind of like not a new game because like there have been versions of it's Theater Rhythm is Theater Rhythm. There have been versions of the game for a long time. I think it's like originally an arcade game, but this is like the final version that has like all the Final Fantasy music in it. And then for DLC, it has Nier music and The World Ends With You music. So fucking about it.
Hell
it's just pretty good as a rhythm game goes, but like and it's just an excuse to listen to really good music.
It's a good tunes, yeah.
And it has like these light RPG elements where you level up a party.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you pick your characters, and you kind of unlock characters as you play through the different Final Fantasies.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of structured based around the different games. And it's just good and fun. It just made me happy to play it. Like, it was like, this is my game of the year for a bunch of the year, just because, like, this is just fun. I just like this. This just makes me happy.
Nice. I mean, dude, sometimes it's all it fucking takes, you know?
Yep.
Just good shit. I remember watching.
Yeah, and I'm pretty bad at rhythm games, so a rhythm game that, like, I feel like I find it rare that a rhythm game actually is like teaches you how to play it enough that I can increase the difficulty based on just playing a lower difficulty and then sort of ramping it up. And this was pretty good at, like, while I was playing more, I started to feel more able to do. There was at least some ability for me to then scale up to harder stuff. Whereas I've played rhythm games where, like, I can play on easy and normal is fucking impossible. Project Sonic or whatever was one like that. But it's no Persona 4 Dancing All Night, which was my biggest example of that, because that game extremely, like, I scaled up to where I was, like, playing on the hardest difficulty on that game eventually.
Hell
like,
yeah.
I felt the skills translated incredibly well from one difficulty to the next. And that's kind of the only rhythm game that I've really felt that way about.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, like, since Guitar Hero took the world by storm, haven't really done any rhythm games, honestly. Not that I'm necessarily opposed, but, you know, none have really captured me yet.
Yeah, when I got in on Dancing All Night, which I played because it was a fucking Persona game, not because it was a rhythm game.
Yeah.
I played a bunch of other rhythm games on the Vita that were kind of out around the same time, and to confirm to myself that this one was so good.
Yeah.
And I did. But, like, it also, like, taught me that I love fucking Taito Drum Master or whatever. Like, those games are fun. And they have Dragon Ball music in them and stuff.
Dude, I remember you playing some of that, and I was losing my fucking mind. I was like, are you kidding me?
Man.
This is dope.
And they have, like, Disney songs in Japanese on them.
Hell yeah. Oh, that shit's great. I mean, like, I still don't really have I guess, like, the one was, like, that I was tempted was, like, Persona.
Yeah.
But that's also because, like, my experience with that game is just someone took clips of Naruto dancing and put my hips don't lie over it.
Yeah.
And I've just watched that like 10,000 times instead of playing the game ever.
I'll also say, of all the Persona sequels, spin-off games I've played, that one had the best story, like, easily.
Nice. It's on Steam. Maybe I put it on the Steam list.
No.
It's not? Fucking cowards.
It was on Vita, and the only port was you had to buy the package of Persona 5 and Persona 3 dancing games, and then it came with a download code for Persona 4 Dancing All Night on PlayStation 4.
That's insanity. Jesus.
Like, they didn't sell it separately.
That's just fucking ridiculous.
And then you still had to buy the DLC again.
Naturally, yeah.
DLC.
No, of course. What else would you
For this game you can't buy. Then you had to buy the DLC.
Yeah. No, that's gross.
But I did it because I fucking love that game. It's way harder to play on a big TV than it was to play on a Vita. Just
that
because
makes sense.
My TV is too big. It's following the things with my eyes is hard.
Yeah. I did have a bit of not a flop is too strong of a word, but mild disappointment. for a game this year, and that was Terra Nil.
Oh, I fucking hated. I like booted that up, and I kind of instantly hated how it felt to like
So
try and build stuff.
I love the concept, right? I like how it feels generally. I don't like the fact that it's not just playing forever. Like,
Well, it's like a phone. It was like built as a phone game,
yeah.
so it's like
It
built
has-
for
yeah.
like shorter burst stuff.
Well, that, but like it has an ending. Like it's not just
Yeah.
like something like Islanders or Dorf Romantic.
Yeah.
You know, you just play those.
Well-
I thought we were
well,
building up to that.
Dorf Romantic ends. You eventually run out of pieces.
Yeah, but like there's not a designated like it's not
Sure.
you don't move through the stage and then like do that 6 times and then you're done. So that was like a little that was just I don't think I had very misled expectations. I think that they'd never really said it wasn't that. But the gameplay was very much like an Islanders type thing where you like get points based on building, and if you fuck up and don't get enough points, then you're done. And that just it wasn't really what I was looking for, even though I love the vibe of that game. But oh well.
I also kind of didn't like the vibe.
Why didn't you like the vibe? Wow, Hank fucking hates nature.
didn't.
Confirmed. He wants to turn the world into an industrial complex.
And that's why I liked games like Mecha Bellum and Armored Core 6.
Yeah.
Diablo 4.
Fucking Mechabellum, though.
Mecha Bellum is great. What a good auto chess. It just had...
Should probably play more of that at some point.
Yep. I stepped away long enough that then when I came back, they'd kind of nerfed my go-to build, and I was kind of annoyed.
What was your go-to build, asshole?
Well, I was just building a lot of snipers, I think.
Okay, shitbag. I don't even remember, honestly. I just
I
remember
don't know.
that,
I had like comps, like where it's like I would build snipers and I would build stuff, and
I just remember us
playing
being
with
kind of
certain units.
I remember us being kind of on the level, and then you played way more than me, and then you started rinsing me. I was like, wow.
Yeah. And I never got to the point where I was like watching people who were good play. So I've never known what was actually meta. I've just like gotten vague senses of stuff based on playing. And I feel like it then changed on me and I didn't know what to do. But
I was
just playing more Magic.
I was
which
watching
is kind of
people,
the same brain spot space.
But like playing online just like against randos, I don't know why. It just never felt super good. And I don't really have a reason for that. Maybe it was like the length of time. Maybe it's like a case where I don't know. It felt like it was like feast or famine type of thing, right? Like if I was going to lose, I was getting fucking throttled, and then I just had to like wait while that happened. I don't know. But I think that is also the kind of game where like the people who are playing it are fucking playing it, so it is going to have like you do need to there's a bit of more of a learning curve. As opposed to something like Super Auto Pets, where sometimes I'm pretty sure I'm decimating a 6-year-old's team, you know?
Sure.
That doesn't happen in Mechabellum. I'll say I really enjoyed watching people play that game, though. Like, there was a couple people just like, it's a perfect game for like getting a little bit of commentary and then like watching how shit plays out and then reacting. Like, it was a nice little combo.
Yeah.
But the gameplay and shit is great. Like playing that the first time when we were playing that, like that felt fucking incredible. Like, this is it.
I love that it has 2v2. That shit's super fun.
2v2. The fact that you can like go into mech view and get like a camera on the ground is insane and super good.
Yeah, I'd never do it because I'm trying to like get information. if
I mean,
my
if it's like
stuff is working.
if
But
it's the last round and you know that your mech is about to fucking decimate like the entire enemy team, like a big fat boy,
no,
it's 10 out of 10.
it's so cool that you can do it.
Yeah. Love that shit.
But there's just like there's so many like points, like choice, like avenues. Like it stayed interesting as I like kept grinding on it.
Yeah.
Like I never felt like I had like exhausted what was there in a way that I do feel like with I have felt with auto chesses, where I'm just like, yeah, this is feeling kind of samey or whatever. Like I kind of never quite got there with Mechabellum. It stayed interesting for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, it's because they didn't cap
As
your
I
units
was
at
going
50-50.
As I was going really hard. Yeah, it didn't cap me at my damage at 50-50. That's sure.
It's still such a funny fucking thing to me. Not because like it's because you like won also, like you came in and like immediately started getting some 10-win victories and then we're like, "Oh, peace."
Mm-hmm.
It's just so good.
I really dislike that. There's a design.
No, that's totally that's totally fair. That's totally fair.
Like it. Speaking of things I disliked,
is it a game I know?
speaking of things I liked parts of,
That didn't answer my question.
speaking of Final Fantasy,
Oh, I sleep.
Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
Look, this is the game where Godzilla and Mothra do the fusion dance to beat King Ghidorah.
That's right. That is like the only thing I know about that game to this
It's
day.
so good.
Because you told me about it.
That moment,
I think you linked it as well, but yeah.
is so hype. I was all in, and then the game was like shit for the like it was all downhill from there. Like that was like the climax of the game for me, and there were like 2 more big bosses to fight, and I was like, why does this suck now? Why is this not cool anymore?
Yeah, it sucks.
And also, it's like as an RPG, it's fucking nonsense. Like you have like 3 gear slots plus your weapon, and it like all just like your it just increases linearly as you go through the game. Like there isn't choices in terms of like build for gear.
Sure.
Like you have
that would be
like your you have accessories that just like reduce the cooldown on your abilities. Like the synergies that exist. I've literally everyone I've heard talk about this game just did the exact same synergy build that I did. Like everyone latched onto the same thing.
Yeah, they found the one thing that exists and went for it.
But it's like it works good until like the bosses are like jumping all around, and then it's like not that effective. So you can't even really rely on that.
Yeah.
Like the combat is like from the beginning to like at a certain point, the combat's just constantly getting better. You're getting more tools. It's getting more fun. It like, and it starts in like a kind of Dark Soulsy type place where you are like it's like an action game where you're dodging and attacking with rhythm. But as you get the late game abilities, like they just become like at a certain point, but the button I press is I do a Kamehameha and it takes like fucking 3 minutes or whatever. And it's like not the action game it was anymore.
Yeah. That's pretty
like
funny.
I fire a big laser beam that like slows down
wrecks
time, and I
everything.
just have to wait. I just sit there. Like it just the combat actually at a certain point just became less fun because my tool set, my powers were like at a higher level that were less engaging. The funniest part to me was I saw a DLC that said I played the DLC, and then I saw a comment saying, "Oh, the DLC boss was so hard," and I was like, "It was." Like it was just
fucking
like
guy.
more of the combat, and it was so mindless to me.
Yeah.
Like it just wasn't like it's okay. Like I played the DLC because like the combat's still kind of fun. Um, but
But it's not hitting.
it was not hitting. It was like just the perfect level of slop to keep me that I stayed with it.
Yeah.
But like the real damning thing is just it completely drops the ball in like hanging out with your squad. It completely drops the
Oh.
ball on that end. Like with like the main female character who's like Clive's fucking wife basically. You do her last like loyalty mission is you don't even do it with her. You and your brother go and like try and find flowers for her. And she's like so she's not involved in her own fucking loyalty quest. And then there's a part that's like she is now in your party permanently. You have like it like comes up in the corner of like telling you like you're bonded forever, whatever. And then she doesn't come on the final mission.
Jesus.
She's the fucking girl. And I'm
God
like,
damn,
you fucked
dude.
up. You just fucked up. What are you
That's
doing?
so fucking dumb.
And like all they needed was like just the climactic moment where your whole squad comes together to fight the final enemy, and they didn't fucking do it. And I would have forgiven so fucking much about this game if they had done that, and they didn't. They
Yeah,
do like beat for beat rip off Azura's Wrath in parts, but like it has none of the emotional investment that Azura's Wrath completely relies on. So it's not even hype.
Yeah.
But it's like exactly Azura's Wrath at the end. It's so weird.
That's pretty funny. That yeah. No,
And like it's just the thing that like I really hate about the story also is that the final villain just sucks. He like talks with this blank affect and it's just fucking nothing and it evokes no emotions when this is a game where you need your characters to like exist on their sleeves and it's about like the melodrama and the emotion, and then when you're getting none of that from the villain, it's so bad. It like
yeah.
It then like it sucks
Oh,
all the
what's
fun
the
out
point?
of it. And it sucked the actual okay villain they were establishing. Like by the time you actually fight him, the character who had any connection to him in your party is fucking dead. And like there's no like hatred. There's no emotion there. And the guy is like talking about how what humans need to do is have no will of their own or whatever. It's like, well, I'm not fucking afraid of you. You've like given up on fucking life. Like, and then like in the middle of his fight, it's like they realized that he was like, oh, we have a problem. This guy is like not compelling or interesting. What if we turned him into the Green Goblin for like 10 minutes or like or half this fight? And he just starts going Green Goblin mode and like hee like for no reason.
I mean, that's
and then
pretty fucking good.
It's funny.
Yeah, in
but,
like a funny way, not a
yeah. It's not.
way.
It's not good.
Oh no,
And
it's
and,
bad
like,
good.
Yeah. And then that fight is just not as nearly as fun or as good a spectacle as the fights before it. And also, you like come up to the point where you could fight him like 2 times before you actually fight him, and the game just like artificially says, "Nah, not yet," and like strings you along, and like. And all the side quests in this game are the most boring fucking shit imaginable. Like, they're just really bad at side quests. But the thing that's really bad is that the main quest then makes you do, like, side quest type stuff. That's when it fucking kills you, where, like, the pacing is dog shit. Because you're, like, you have to talk to 5 people in town or whatever. And it just takes
Yeah.
and it's just like, God. You just if you
Yeah.
had made a little linear spectacle action game, it would be so much better. It's just so frustrating because the highs are very high, but then they're over like 2/3 of the way through the game.
Yeah. No, that's unfortunate.
And like it's like trying to be Game of Thronesy at first of like, oh, these characters fuck, but like it's like the way it treats its female characters, it's extremely whores and Madonnas kind of thing, where like the woman who's like down DTF early on, like they're all super evil and get murdered. And then you have your extremely chaste where like your main character and his girlfriend like fucking can't even like fucking talk to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that sounds
it's extremely
sounds like
frustrating.
something.
It was
Frustrating is the word I would. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
frustrating. Because I could so easily see a much better game here, and like it just didn't come together at all.
Dude, that shit is the worst. Like when you can see the thing hiding in there.
Yeah.
Oh well.
And the part where like parts of it are very fun, and then parts of it are just fucking boring.
Yeah. No, that'd be annoying. I don't even know. Maybe I watched Paul play some of it. Did Paul play it?
Yeah, he didn't finish it. He didn't even get to the part that I think is the best part of it. So I'm kind of like, you should play more. Because you haven't gotten to the best part.
Yeah.
Like, it's still good for where you are. I played Diablo 4. That was a fun campaign. That was just
that fucking
fun.
Came out this year.
Yeah. I have like that game is built on like going through seasons and like just doing the stuff all over again, and that doesn't interest me. But like as a first playthrough campaign, it was really fucking good.
Nice.
I really liked it. The vibes were just good for what you want from Diablo. Of like this world is the fucking worst. And, like every once in a while, you'll get a side quest that doesn't end in abject misery, and you're like, oh, that's wow. This person didn't fucking die horribly or whatever. Wow, that's wild. Because basically everyone in that fucking world is doomed.
Yeah.
But it's like it's fucking Diablo, so it's like funny.
Yeah. Like that's the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think you are?
There's a part where you go back to Tristram, the town from the first Diablo, but it's like completely subsumed in Hell World, and it's so fucking cool.
Nice.
It's just like, this rules. And like the final boss is fun. It's just solid.
Oh, that's cool. It was on my radar because I think I found out like my laptop can actually run it, or Steam Deck can, one of the two. I just haven't pulled the trigger. I mean, it literally anything before I got back into Street Fighter, I was like, yo, this sounds cool. And then after Street Fighter, I'm like, will I really play it?
Sure.
So, but no, like that in theory, I really like Diablo because I do like loot.
Speaking of a game that I really liked but didn't finish, Armored Core 6. That game's great. I beat the super hard wall and then I cleared that and then didn't keep going. And like, I got to get back to it, but I just didn't.
Yeah. I mean, it happens, man.
The thing I really fucking that I saw pointed out in a video about the game later is that the super hard like wall boss that people run into, right before him you fight a mini boss, and that mini boss has the loadout and like fights with the strategy that's really effective against that other boss.
Oh.
And I didn't put that together at the time, but once that was pointed out, I was like, oh, that's fucking genius.
Yeah, oh, that's a good
He
design.
uses this bubble gun that's really good against taking down shields, and he kicks a lot. And like those are like the two, like using your kick is like a really good strategy against Baltheus or whatever.
Nice.
Although, so Baltheus is the actual wall, and then there are some people that can't beat the tutorial helicopter boss and struggle there. And I feel kind of bad.
I feel that. I had to turn Nier onto auto mode.
I thought you didn't even get to the part where you could turn on to auto mode because you died in the intro section before you unlocked the ability to like do any of that stuff.
No, you can turn on. You can like equip the fucking auto thing.
Sure.
Yeah, I died on that fucking bot on that tutorial thing. And
the
the reason
demo section.
Yeah. And the fucking that kind of doesn't matter, you know? That's like whatever. I'm not doing all that shit over again. If you kill me on your demo boss, good luck. Your game is a 0 out of 10. Fuck off. I was done, and then I tried it again, and I came back to it like however many months or years later, whatever the fuck. Turned on the auto thing, beat the boss. Still barely. I still almost fucked it up. And then I was like, I actually just don't feel like continuing.
Watch the anime.
Whatever.
Now you could just watch it now.
No, I just fucking, you know what? I watch you as to be beat my ass in Soul Calibur 6, and that's my Nier experience.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel for those people. I feel because I empathize with them. I feel their pain.
Mm-hmm. The other big game I played through and finished was Marvel Spider-Man 2. That game's just good.
Nice.
It's not amazing. I don't love some of the choices they made around.
So it's not amazing
execution
Spider-Man?
of Venom.
Oh, that's right. You get to be fucking you have like Venom powers in that game for a bit.
You do have Venom symbiote power. You do have symbiote powers, and you get to play as Venom for a section because they're like, we know you want to play as Venom.
We know what you fucking want.
We know what you fucking want. You
want to eat,
and it's great. It's fucking great. Oh, it's so fun. You just hop. You just bounce, stomp around. You're like huge. The version of Venom is just like the Hulk.
Hell yeah. Oh, that's fucking sick.
It's like wrecking everyone. Oh, it's so fun. But that game's just like that game's just fun. Like the swinging mechanics, like just the movement, just incredibly good.
Yeah.
And like the side activities are like just the right amount of interesting that I will do all of them. Like it's just calibrated right, like just right where it's like I will 100% that game, all those games.
Oh, that's good. Well, that shit hits.
And I had a bug where I turned into a cube. Like all the graphics for my character were missing, and I was just a white cube, and I could swing around as a cube.
That's amazing.
And that's on Twitch because I was streaming.
Oh, hell yeah!
So that's preserved.
God bless.
There's a clip in the Discord that he's did.
Nice.
It's pretty fucking sick. It then went to a cutscene where people were just floating heads, like their bodies didn't load in. They were just like their heads down to like their neck, and then I like progressed a little bit more, and then the next cutscene the game crashed. And then I had to reload it, and
that tracks.
And then it reloaded me in without losing progress, and it was all working again fine. So it was all upside, baby.
Yeah, fucking win-win. That's incredible.
But it just treated it didn't have the like pure Venom just trolling Peter Parker shit that is what I love about Venom. So
Sure.
it's like a Spider-Man villain. Like they made Venom at like he's like all the villains in those games where he has like his own personal army and he's trying to like take over the world. And I'm like, that's boring.
That's
but,
fucking lame.
yeah.
Oh well.
But it's a fucking video game. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of get it.
Yeah. Cowards.
Kind of.
Do you know what game I kind of forgot about until we until we started talking?
No.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, sure.
That's a game
not on my list because
that's a game that I mean
I did play a little bit of it.
See, like, yeah, I think I played more of it than Breath of the Wild, which isn't saying much.
I like just cleared the tutorial area and then like I did like a couple dungeons, but like this second one I did, I like couldn't clear because I didn't have the like kite yet. I didn't have the glide ability yet. And I literally couldn't clear the thing, and then like I was like, fuck this game. But that's also because like I don't like Breath of the Wild either, so
see,
it was kind of a test of my patience that I was playing it at all.
I mean, it's funny because for me, the quick and dirty summary is that it fixes some of the shit that really annoyed me about Breath of the Wild, but not to the point where I've actually beaten the game.
Sure.
Like I put more time into it, but like I technically did not get as far in it as I did in Breath of the Wild, like story wise. But
Sure.
Going around the world feels better because you have some of the building shit and everything else. And the sky islands and stuff are very fun. But at the end of the day, it's still kind of like the same overall issue, which is that it could be any fucking game. It could be a new IP, and then people would probably shit on it more because it's not Zelda. Like, the underlying stuff is still just kind of the same. It puts bandages over the shit instead of actually healing the problem or whatever.
Sure.
Like, the world is a little more interesting, but still, like, why are we just doing these mini dungeon things? I guess the only upside to those in this game is that they just give you all the dumb fucking broken powers immediately, and like you can just cheese so many of those of the shrines, and that's fucking great. The fact that they like build it to be like, yeah, go ham, like break this shit. That's an incredible design choice. But it like I'm not in that headspace when I turn on a Zelda game necessarily, you know? Like maybe that's a me problem, but like I want to do the theme dungeon and like do my shit or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I
like video game progression. That's why I like Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Like progression.
There's just something about that I just like. And I find the space in between stuff in the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom really fucking boring.
See, and
I don't like the combat at all in those games.
Yeah, the combat is. I mean, like you can do wild shit in Tears of the Kingdom with building shit, but
yeah,
I'm not one for that. And I would still like they made it so you can fuse items and stuff, which is a little better, but I still would like, where's the fucking hook shot? We have this big open world and a glider. Where's my goddamn hook shot? Like that shit just feels meh. I want the unique items and like more of that instead of the powers or whatever.
Sure.
So I do think I really like Tears of the Kingdom more than Breath of the Wild, but yeah, it still didn't fix
the Phantom
enough
Ganons are kind of sick. I didn't fight any of them, but I saw that and that was cool.
I don't know that. I don't think I got to any of that shit.
It was like those things on the overworld that like have like all the eyes, the like the black things that like have all the hands that chase you,
Oh, all the
and
hand.
then
Okay,
you like blow that up, and then it turns into a Phantom Ganon that's like a whole
sure.
fucking boss fight thing.
Okay, okay.
I was watching Paul play it, and I saw that happen once. I was like, that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
That's just cool as hell. But
There's also still just like the limited use. Like they want it's a fucking resource collecting game, but I don't want to collect like weapons and like the building parts.
mhm.
Like let me putting the rocket on your shield and launching in the air is fucking incredible. That when I realized I could do that, that was insane. That was so much fun. But then like you can only do it a couple of times or whatever. Or you run out,
No.
you don't have another
Yeah.
rocket, or your shield breaks, and it's
Yeah,
like
all my neurosis around hoarding and not wanting to too good to use. It just like doesn't that game doesn't line up with my brain. Like I just
Oh,
don't.
dude, the fusing makes it. I mean, it's better, but also fucking way worse for me. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I fused this really good material, and now this weapon does like a ton of damage. I'm going to put that in the back pocket for when I need it later.
Yeah, like the way it ends up playing out for me is like I just don't care about anything.
Yeah.
Like I just disengage
I'll-
from the whole thing. It doesn't make me like there's no way for me to get excited about making stuff because of
Yeah.
the way the systems work and the way like that lines up with my brain.
I think it's that all being said, I think it's fucking impressive what they've done.
No, it's
Like
super cool.
The fact that that's on the Switch and you have the Sky Islands, the fucking depths, and the overworld, and then like all the physics shit that it's and like remembering stuff, like that shit's insane. It's insane that it runs as well as it does. Like,
Yeah, it'd be a little more impressive if it ran better, but
wow. On the Switch?
I mean, I didn't even play it on the Switch. I played it on emulator because
Wow.
Switch.
Look at this fucking guy. No, that makes sense.
That was the only reason I played it at all. I just wouldn't have played it if it was just on the Switch. The only reason I played it was to mess with the Yuzu stuff.
I mean, to be fair, at this point, it probably runs like butter. Well, it's as smooth as butter. There we go.
Yeah, it was still
Not butter. It's not melty and sluggish.
there were like sky textures that were all fucked up and broken.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
But
So yeah, I mean, it's that I don't like.
and I
Here's the
fucking
thing.
hate Zelda's voice acting. I hate.
I mean, you just switch it to any other fucking language.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because it's not good.
And it's not that voice actress's fault. It's the direction. 'Cause
Yep. Yeah,
she can
no,
talk like a normal human being. But
she's doing what she's supposed to do in the thing.
I don't understand that choice. It's not a thing I like. Which is like a shame because there's story stuff around Zelda in that game is what I like.
I will say, if I had played more games, I don't know if that would be one that I bring up necessarily.
Sure.
But like as usual, I'm in the position of only like there's only one other game that I've played this year.
Sure.
Do you know what game that is? Do you have any guesses? You've also played it.
Is it not? So it's not F-099?
It's not that. Actually, it's also not. I was not thinking of Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, though I have played that, but I'm not counting that.
Doesn't that also have to
was-
be in it now?
I think it's Gidding. I don't know if she's in it yet, but yeah, I think there's a collab happening, or has. Maybe she is by now. I was thinking Mario Wonder,
Oh, right.
which is, I think it's really good. but I agree. We had talked about it previously, and you said like
Yeah.
it's just there's still just like it's level design with a gimmick in the level, and then the rest of the level is a thing.
Yeah, I just think that game is closer. The people who like say, "Oh, I hate the new Super Mario Brothers games, but I love this." I don't understand it. That game's just way closer to the new, or like, not that I don't understand. I value different things in video games, but they must
Oh,
value novelty way higher than I do, because
it's
I just think in terms of like what that game really is, it has like way more character to it, like the way that the character models look, and like they just have a little more personality. That game just looks better, but in terms of game level design, it's just another new Super Mario Brothers game. Like it's not, it's a good one, but it's closer to those games than I feel like people want to admit. It's
I
just
think
those the
people
novelty. It's just how far does the novelty of the wonders go for you, and they don't go that. I find that novelty does not go that far for me. Like I had the same
I
problem with Odyssey.
I think I think people are super harsh on New Super Mario Bros. Because it's like all they got for like 15 years or whatever, you know.
And I get it if you played New Super Mario Brothers 2. That game is bad. But the other
And I
ones are
think a lot
fine.
of people probably did though, you know.
Nah, people didn't play that 3DS game. People played the Wii one or whatever, or the Wii U one,
Sure,
which I think are fine.
but like for
Luigi
me,
U is probably the best one.
and to be clear, I've not played like a New Super Mario Bros. In a long fucking time.
Sure.
Like I haven't played the newer ones or whatever. Like I played the original and then maybe whatever one was after that, possibly, but I don't even know. Um, and that, but like I've seen a bunch of it, you know, and like the style in Mario Maker and shit is New Super Mario Bros. Right?
Yeah.
Like the one style. I think for me, like, yeah, the gameplay doesn't feel terribly different in terms of like level design from what I remember and what I know, but the visuals and the animations and the sound design, like that shit goes a long way for me.
Yeah, that
So
stuff's
that's
definitely
what I'm
better.
looking at. I still don't think it's like a I don't think it's like a crazy. I agree. I don't think it's like a crazy thing that's like so much better than New Super Mario Bros.
Yeah,
But
I don't think it's like immensely different. I think it's better.
I
Or like, visually. But
I I kind of did. I got
I
like
do
a
think the fucking hat float makes everything kind of soft in terms of like it's all easier. Like I don't
yeah.
the thing that frustrates me about it is like it's like classic Nintendo where like we have all these great mechanics in this game and we're not going to ask you to use fucking like like 9/10 of them ever.
Yeah.
like
There's a
like there's a game where you don't have the wonders, but you like get to like use two of the badge powers at once, and the levels are like designed around it more or something. That like I would fucking love.
mhm.
Um, it just it doesn't come together in this game
No, that's
for
fair.
me.
I did get a bit of a
I also didn't
pot.
finish it. I
I
will say
also I have not finished it. I
I was
mean, I
like
got fucking.
I'm 100%ing it as I go, but yeah. So I might
I
if I like cleared the final mission, maybe I'd feel a little differently, but.
I was
Like
not
specifically,
doing
this
that.
game isn't as good to me as the Mario 3D games.
Oh sure, yeah.
Those are still the ones that I really love.
I'm I'm thinking I'm a little more positive on it. I came in. I mean, I've been actually craving like a 2D Mario,
Hmm.
like one of the newer ones, to the point where I was even thinking for a while about using my voucher on New Super Mario Bros. And then they fucking announced Wonder. I'm like, oh okay. Uh, so
Yeah,
that
no,
like
I
hitting
traditionally
that
I have
urge.
liked 2D Mario way more than 3D Mario. Like the exception was the 3D Mario games because those are more their level design is similarly like level forward momentum based rather than like
open
exploration,
Yeah.
find these items, collectathon type stuff. Like I really love the directed level design. I find,
Yeah.
but I just found like the 3D, the way the 3D games did that using 3D stuff. I just found it turns out I find that more compelling.
Yeah.
Than what Wonder did.
And the other like positive bias that I came in with by pure coincidence. I've been talking to my cousin a bit about games because he's like one of those people who played quite a fair bit when he was little, and like just recently got back into it. Just felt the urge, and he was we were talking a whole bunch because like he played like the original Legend of Zelda and then like Ocarina of Time a little bit, and that was like it. And then like he just never got into it. And then one day he got the urge to like try out, like see what Zelda's been up to, and got a Switch and played Breath of the Wild. He's like, this shit is fucking insane. Because like he never saw it. He just went from like fucking NES to Breath of the Wild. Like,
Yeah.
That's gonna be crazy. So he got me thinking of that mindset of like that comparison. So and like we had been talking about it, and then I come into Wonder. I'm like, yo, have you checked out any, like, what's the last Mario game you played? He's like, I don't know, like Mario Bros. 3. Like, you should maybe get Wonder at some point. That would probably do it for you too. Or something, or even 3D Land or whatever. But like,
if you've only played 3, then you should probably play Super Mario World. But
yeah, I mean, maybe you play that if he's remembering out of order or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like 3 more than I like World, but
yeah. I mean, he has access to that shit. He's been playing online and everything. But just like that, talking to someone and like them being hyped about shit, like gets you a little softer on it sometimes. Not that I think that like, not that I think Wonder.
I mean, not me, but I how I feel about.
Well, yeah, I wasn't talking about you.
I feel about playing it, but yeah, playing it does matter.
Yeah,
like what? Like I mean, I think Alan Wake 2 is fucking an incredible video game, but it didn't look fun to play, so I didn't play it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like it has one of the hypest moments of video games of all year to me. Like there's the part where it's a musical is unfucking real good. It's unreal good. But the combat looked like ass.
Did you, like what? That was the last game I had.
Okay.
So whatever
the finals came out. That game has the way that game has like destructible environments is just fucking sick. It's just incredibly sick once you wrap your head, once you realize what you can do to like walls, and like not all the characters can do stuff to blow stuff up, but when you have a loadout they can, and you just like you're like, oh, the thing we need is up there on the 3rd floor. Let me fucking blow down this building so we can get down here.
Yeah.
Like
I don't even know like what is it? I've seen it on Steam a little bit, but like I don't actually know what the game is.
It's kind of like
or what it's doing.
You know, Warzone-y in terms of like it's like squads, big multiplayer game where there are squads and you're trying to get a cash box, take it to a thing, put it in there, then so you have to defend for a while and then take it and like get out and then like take it to a drop off and then you like score points. And there are like there'll be like several teams on the map at any given time.
Okay, so like squad-based multiplayer extraction shooter or whatever.
Yeah,
arena extraction shooter.
Yeah, and it with destructible environments is like
that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, and the indestructible environments are just incredibly cool.
Yeah, I mean that sounds sick.
Because they're like dynamic in terms of like you just throw a grenade and like then the part of the wall that blew up, that part's gone.
I mean that's why Battlefield Bad Company 2 was the GOAT.
Yeah, you can, make the floor fall out if you destroy enough of the building below it,
Hell yeah, dude.
And like the points you're trying to get to can like tumble down and
yeah. Oh, that sounds sick.
yeah, it's
Can't
it's
imagine
sick.
it plays well on the deck.
I have no idea. That game's really cool. I played a bunch of Payday 3.
Oh
And
yeah, that came out this year.
that game is almost great, but it's
That
so fucking
sounds right.
annoying. They tied progress to getting like achievements, and
Ew.
their like achievement menu was like nonsense. Like it wasn't organized at fucking all even.
Yeah.
Like so Paul went deep on it, but like the it turned out doing heists was not a good way to level. The good way to level was to
Uh,
hide in a bathroom and shoot people over and over again. And that's
that's
fucking miserable.
yeah. God. I mean, I'm not surprised that it
Like they made the
is
payouts for
wonky.
doing heists not good enough for level progression.
I mean,
Like, and other than that, that game's pretty fucking great.
yeah. I
But
mean,
the
Payday was always a
progression,
super good base.
the progression is just fucked.
Yeah. I'm glad that they ruined, well, in my opinion, they ruined Payday 2 on their way out, too. Like, I was deep in that fucking game, and then I came back, and it turns out they redid the whole infamy shit. So, like, I have none of that stuff or few of it based on the new system and everything, and, like,
Oh,
it's
weird.
all just different. And I'm like, really? You can't just fucking leave it as is?
We were playing some Payday 2 before Payday 3 came out, and it seemed good. But
Yeah. I think I went deeper on that than you guys did.
yeah,
I was like
sure.
Infamy 5 or whatever
Mhm.
or something. So like that time sync, I'm like,
Definitely
even if it's good
deeper
but
than I-
different.
I have like over 100 hours in Payday 2, but not like hundreds of hours.
I think I'm gonna call it 350. I'm gonna check. My number in my head is like 350. Payday 2 361.
Yeah, I'm at 122.8.
Yeah.
Less than Baldur's Gate 3, but more than Elden Ring.
I'm just a little bit under Skyrim at 368 hours. But a lot of that was mod testing. Why would I play
As
the
you
fucking
do.
game when I
Yeah.
could just mod
That
the
is
game?
the game. No.
It really
That is
was.
the game.
It
is
really
the game.
was. I beat Skyrim not when I completed the main campaign for the first time like 8 years after it released, but when I had my game cleaned and properly modded to the point where I had like over 150 mods going, and I played for like 6 hours without a single hiccup or crash. I beat the game.
Wow.
I did it, and now I'm done. Now I just play vanilla.
Uh-huh.
Never again. Ugh. But yeah,
I play this game Combat Master that's like a mobile shooter that
I
they
was
put
gonna
on
say,
Steam,
it sounds like a mobile shooter.
but like it was kind of fun as hell, and
Hell yeah, dude.
you could just vault over everything, and it was
Oh
sick.
yeah.
The speed you did it was kind of amazing. I played a bunch of Fire Emblem Engage, and that's kind of the best Fire Emblem they've made in a while for me in terms of like mechanics. Like it felt the gameplay felt good, but the story is fucking dog shit, and it kind of fucked me out.
Yeah.
Like the writing was just really fucking bad and not what I liked. Which is funny because it's not like I would say the GBA Fire Emblems had like the fucking greatest writing of all time, but like they had a vibe
Yeah,
and it
sure.
worked. And this was like so much. This was just dumber. This was more like YAE, I guess.
Oh yeah.
In a way that like, but then like Saturday morning cartoony in a way that wasn't in a bad way. I don't know. It's kind of hard to me to describe other than it's like just kind of sucks. It's
No,
like
like
just
that dude.
it's just lame.
Sometimes it be that way.
Um, I only played a tiny bit of it, but Persona 5 Tactica has Persona music in it, so
Game of the year contender.
it has the same
Yeah.
problem for me as the Mario Tactics games, like Kingdom Battle and Spark of Hope, which is that your party is only 3 characters large, and that's just not enough characters to make a tactics game interesting to me.
Yeah.
It's it's just kind of too basic. But I didn't get that far, so I don't know if it opens. It gets more interesting later, maybe. But um, dude, Demonologist and Lethal Company are good multiplayer games in terms of like hanging out with people and using in-game chat that's location based on how far away from you are from people, and
Oh, hell
sometimes
yeah.
you get killed. uh, that's just good times. I just want to. Hitman came out with its freelancer mode this year, which is like its roguelike mode that like
Right.
leverages everything from Hitman 1 to Hitman 3 for like a, progression roguelike thing, and I just think that's cool. Even though I kind of I don't like roguelikes, so I didn't super engage with it, but I watched a
that's
bunch of
dope.
it, and it's just a sick thing that they combined those games into like the Uber Hitman perfect Hitman game and added this cool super replayable mode as like a last hurrah for that stuff.
That's sick. Yeah.
It's just super cool. And I played a little bit of City Skylines 2. I've heard people fucking really complaining about it, but it just seemed like more City Skylines from what I played. So
That's
it
because
was
you're a
fine.
filthy fucking casual.
Filthy casual.
I
Filthy
mean,
casual.
surely one of the things has to be the timeless classic of the first game having like $2 trillion worth of DLC, and this game being new and not
I
having
guess.
that.
This game at least has disasters at launch, which the first game didn't.
I think that's a DLC.
Yeah, it's a DLC for the original, but it's in this game at launch.
Yeah.
I didn't play long enough to see what the transit nightmares are like in this one, which was
Sure.
really the memorable thing about the first one. Was my fucking bus stop nightmares.
Yeah.
Batboy 2, that's Batboy 2 Gal Guardians Demon Purge. Those are just solid 2D platformers.
Nice.
I didn't really know. I didn't put together that Gal Guardians was a Gal Gun game when I got it. But
Dude, I heard it and I was like, that sounds like Galgun.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize. There's like a secret ending that's like the Gal Gun ending, where you like it goes into Gal Gun mode for the final boss. You shoot her. I stopped at the part where like you have the extra collectibles where you have to like basically you're like saving girls throughout the game, and then like then at a certain point, you have to go get their panties that were in all the places they were, and I was like, I'm good. I'm not gonna do that. But other than that, it was like a good kind of Castlevania game, like not Metroidvania, like classic Castlevania type stuff. And I just like that style of game a lot because it's not that long, but it's like the right length of video game to just play a thing. Batboy is super good in terms of it's like extremely reminiscent of Shovel Knight. It's just fun.
Nice.
2D platformer. And I played Sonic Superstars.
The fuck is Sonic Superstars?
That's not the worst Sonic video game.
I don't even know what it is.
It's just the new 2D Sonic. It's Sonic 2
Oh,
did.
oh, right. They did come out with one. I'd completely forgotten
It
that
has
game.
like 4-player multiplayer, like it's a new Super Mario Brothers game, and like probably and like kind of a nightmare because
That sounds right.
Sonic gameplay, but there are 4 of you.
Yeah.
They didn't solve that. They just fucking made it. It's fine.
Hell yeah.
It's
Send it.
better than Sonic 4.
Yeah.
Sonic Episode 4 or whatever. But it's not. It's no Sonic Mania.
Still haven't played Sonic Mania, though I'm pretty sure I have it from something or another.
It's good. They remade the System Shock remake. I didn't play, but I watch people play. That thing is cool, and the making of Karateka is a super cool thing because it's like a documentary that's a video game. It's like Atari 50, but it's just about Karateka, which is an old
Okay.
computer game. That's like that. Then the Jordan Mechner, the guy who made it when he was just very young, he then went on to make the original Prince of Persia.
Oh.
And like the thing that makes the making of Karateka is he was like him and his dad like did the music for that, and he just kept it incredible. He was like really good at documenting his own life and keeping track. So there's just like a wealth of material for them to make that documentary about him making that game.
Mm-hmm.
And it has like interviews and stuff in it too.
Nice.
So it's just a cool thing to exist, but not like I don't really care about Karateka. That game's too old for me to really care about. But as a piece of history, I just think it's neat, and I'm excited for. I'm excited for the next one of those where they're doing the Llamasoft. They're making one of those for the Llamasoft games. Which and it'll have like Tempest and stuff, and that those games I think are more fun. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to talk about. Finally, we can fucking end this podcast.
I mean, it's only 2.5 hours. But I mean, like that was,
Yeah.
At least we weren't arrogant enough to think we could do all of 2023 shit in one episode.
Mm-hmm. No, based on
Also,
last year, I was like, video games have to be separate.
Yep.
It just has to be.
I mean, also we took like literally an hour and a half to talk about Baldur's Gate 3 and Street Fighter 6.
Yep.
So,
Uh-huh.
like that's not too bad, all things considered.
When I was making my list for my favorite games of the year, I put Baldur's Gate 3 on there, and then I was like, yeah, that's a good list.
I think my last little bit is there are 2 games that released that I own. I've started one of them, and I'm gonna poke at them. 3 games actually that I'm gonna poke at, and I'll probably talk about them whenever I've played enough. And that would be Cassette Beasts and Coral Island, which I've heard is like Stardew Valley, but I mean I know like I watched a bit of gameplay. And I think I started up once or whatever. You're like on an island, and like I've heard the NPC like the social link stuff and like the dialogue is really good and pretty engaging. Seems like a good setting, so that'll be fun, I hope.
Cool.
And what is it? Witch Spring R, which is like a JRPG. You're like this little witch in the woods, and like witches. You're like the last witch or something. I don't know. I also started it up like once, but that was one I had for like the Steam Next Fest or demo thing, or one of the things. Like I played the demo, and I'm like, this is pretty cute and fun, so I grabbed it cheap.
Nice.
So I'll get to those at some point, maybe, or I'll play more Street Fighter.
Hell yeah. I have one
Yeah.
last thing I could mention. It's just
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
technically
Hit
it
it.
came out in 2022, but it came out super busted, and they finally finished fixing it. Like you had to play like the beta branch to get good frame rate. Um, but River City Girls 2, which is just a beat 'em up, but
Oh, okay.
that game is fucking delightful.
I mean, maybe I'll when we play beat 'em ups at some point, I'll get more into beat 'em ups because those seem pretty fighting game adjacent.
Yeah, and River City Girls, like just the girls in that game, they're just incredibly. I really
I
like
mean,
them.
yeah,
I just
every
find them
time I looked
charming.
at that game, I'm like, this character design and shit, like, it looks really good. And like I think
Uh-huh.
I was watching you and Paul play probably that one
No, we played the first
or
one
the first
at
one.
some point.
Okay,
Yeah, well, like years
um,
after it had come out, I think.
gotcha. No, I remember seeing a bit of that. I was like, this looks like a pretty cool little game, but the
Yeah,
genre just didn't.
yeah. And this
I
game
have
basically looks like the first game, but
I have
it has some more
no.
playable characters. Like one of the playable characters is the girlfriend from the original Double Dragon.
Okay.
Uh, who got like that game starts with like her getting punched and taken away, and like the story in this is she got tired of being saved, so she fucking started working out, and now she's fucking built.
Hell yeah.
And she's fucking awesome. It's just really cool.
Yeah, I think part of it is I mean I haven't really done much of the genre at all, so I don't really like
Yeah.
playing a multiplayer might be fun, but I don't have the urge to do it like solo.
No, like that's
So,
totally fair.
but
Beat 'em ups are
someday.
definitely a much fun genre to just play with someone and
Yeah.
shoot the shit while you just kind of play a kind of mindless genre.
Mm-hmm.
But I think River City Girls are like it's kind of like a step above. I actually think that game is just very fun.
Nice.
On top of that, but mostly I do prefer to play that genre with people.
Yeah.
But I didn't have anyone to play with, so I just played a bunch of it by myself.
I mean,
Sometimes it'd be
sometimes
that
just
way.
yeah. Oh well.
Anyway, that's video games of
Hell yeah, it is.
2023. Baldur's Gate's the best.
Street Fighter is the best. Fight me.
I will fight you, and I will win.
Under you know what? I didn't mention it, but underrated feature being into fighting games. You could just be like, fucking prove it, bitch. And then you get in the pit and someone gets wrecked.
I was just watching the videos of Justin Wan did of where he would show up at fighting game tournaments and make tournament players play like really hard fighting game bosses and just
like
get their asses kicked.
Yeah, dude. He had to play. There was one he had the bosses, and another. I think his recent one was like level 8 Street Fighter 6 CPUs or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's like, you ever played the level 8? They're like, nah. He's like, okay. Fucking like 2 tapped or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I think it was Zangief too, who like literally 2 shots you.
Yeah, I was watching the only
ridiculous.
one for the Street Fighter 6 that I'd seen so far was fucking Green Electric Boy. How am I forgetting his name?
Blanca?
Blanca. Yeah, they was doing Blanca.
Yeah.
And he was just destroying people. It was very funny.
Yeah, man.
And he like regenerates health, so you can't like you can't like back off either.
Yeah, yeah. No, this shit's like fucking scary.
It's like actually fucked. It was very funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, Soul Circle Podcast, gmail.com, Soul Circle Pod on Twitter, anchor.fm, so Soul Circle on YouTube at Soul Circle, and I'm on Twitter at Comic Panels.
And I'm not on Twitter. I'm just here.